Colorado High School Activities Association Baseball is on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network from a windy Severance High School. It's a Longs Peak League clash as the visiting Fort Morgan Mustangs take on the Severance Silver Knights. And we will work on an alternate connection. We're having some issues here. I'm John Beltran. Charlie Langford will step in against right-hander Nolan Hertzke. And the pitch, swing and a miss. Actually got a piece of it, no balls and one strike. And the offering, and that's outside. Again, with this wind, we're having our challenges. And the 1-1 is swung on and popped up into shallow center and going out and making the catch is the center fielder, Shane Gockley, one down. That'll send up Trey Romero, hitting for the left side. And the offering. That's a strike on the outside corner. We'll get to the starting lineups. The wind is at 25 miles an hour. And that pitch is in there for a strike with a fastball for the right-hander, Nolan Hertzke. No balls and two strikes. Swung on, that ball is grounded foul along the first base side. Yeah, they want to work quickly here. They got this game started a few minutes early because the wind is so fierce they just want to get out of here. And I get that. I totally get that. The Mustangs just came off an 11-2 loss to Severance on Tuesday at home. The pitch, and that is outside. One ball and two strikes. Yeah, this wind is whipping across the field. The pitch, breaking ball is up and away. Two and two, one out. The base is empty. Here in the first inning, David Keller's on deck for Fort Morgan. The offering. Fastball is outside. Three balls and two strikes. Jason Diaz is the DH. He's hitting fourth. Dylan Jost at first. Austin Neely at second. Jim Tamburo at third. Mason Bright's at short. The pitch is fouled off to the left. Three balls and two strikes to Trey Romero. The pitch. Fastball is up and away. It's a walk. And that'll bring up David Keller. Keller had a double. On Tuesday. Mustangs were in that game. They were down 5-2, gave up 6 runs in the sixth inning and lost 11-2. The right-hander to the plate, swung on and driven foul off to the right side out of play. Opening pitch today brought to you by Equitable Savings and Loan. And the starting lineup brought to you by Buildings by Design. Check them out, buildingsbydesign.com. No balls and one strike to Keller. The pitch, and that's a strike with a fastball in the inside corner, 0-2. Mustangs 1-6 coming in and 4-8 overall, 1-6 in league play. Severance the opposite, 6-1 in league play, 9-3 on the season. The pitch, the bender swung on and missed. Man, that was down below the knees, tailing away for the right-handed hitting Keller, and he strikes out, 2 down. Two down for Jason Diaz. Awaiting the pitch to the right-handed hitter. Here it is. Swinging a foul to the backstop. Yeah, this wind is brutal. And we knew it was going to be at least 20 miles an hour. It's at about 25, 26 miles an hour right now. The stretch. Hertzke delivers. Fastball inside. Runner to second to throw on a hop. The slide. And Romero's out. Tagged out by Mason Bright. The caught stealing goes 2-6. And the Mustangs are done at the top of the first inning. No runs, no hits, no errors, and the bases were left empty. As we head to the bottom of the first inning, who cares about the temperature in Severance? It's also cold. The wind is the story. Mustangs do not score, and Severance is coming to bat on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Try back with you. Bottom of the first inning in Severance. The Mustangs will have Chase Redding on the hill. Tyler Baker's behind the plate. Let's take you around the infield. Trey Romero's at first. Joseph Layden at second. The third baseman is Jaden Carrera. Charlie Langford's at short. The left fielder is Noah Aguirre. David Keller in center. Chase Romero's in right. Starting lineup now for Severance. Batting first is the right fielder Ty Adam. Nolan Hertzke, the pitcher, at second. Mason Bright, the shortstop, bats third. The cleanup hitter's the left fielder Bryson Ferris. Dylan Jost, the first baseman, at fifth. Joe Tamburo at third, hits sixth. The DH at seventh, that's Brennan Taylor. Austin Neely at second, hits eighth. And Shane Gockley, the center fielder, is batting ninth. Ty Adam had a extra base hit. He had a double to begin the game on Tuesday. And this team has been clubbing it all season. Severance hitting .352 as a team. This is righty against righty. Chase Redding's goal to throw strikes. That's been an issue. He's got a big, strong, live arm, but he's got to throw those strikes. And the right-hander to the plate. Swinging a foul to the backstop. Good pitch to open up the game. Redding at 2-2 with an ERA of 8. 30 walks, 23, 30 strikeouts, 23 walks in 21 innings. And the pitch, the bender's in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Off I-76 and exit 66A in Wiggins. Stubbs Gas and Oil. Gas, food, and all your travel accessories. Stubbs Gas and Oil. Redding is ready. And the offering. Swung on and tapped along the third base line. And it's off the glove of Carrera into foul territory on a high hop. And that's the other issue with the Mustangs. They were not good defensively on Tuesday with 3 infield errors and an error on a pickoff. That'll be scored a miscue on Carrera. It's a high bouncer. Would have been a close play at first, but you can't assume he would have been saved. So it scored an error. And that'll send up Nolan Hertzke. Here's the stretch by Redding. And the pitch. Swung on and grounded to short. Charlie Langford has it. Underhand to second for 1. Back to first. And that's going to be off the glove of Romero. Backed up nicely by Baker. And I think they're going to call double play, an automatic double play. Let's see, are they calling? Yes, they're calling an automatic double play. Obstruction at second by Adam. So that goes as a 6-4-3. Well, Chase Redding and the Mustangs will take that. So 2 down for Mason Bright. And that was huge because Bright had 4 RBIs in his first 2 at-bats against Fort Morgan on Tuesday. The pitch, fastball, a strike. On the inside corner, 0-1. Redding to the plate. The bender is backhanded by Baker. Now, I'm inside of a weather pod, so the wind might not play as much of a factor during the broadcast, but it is in this game. The pitch. Fastball is up and in. 2 balls and 1 strike. This is where I need to weigh about 50 pounds more so I can hold this thing down. 2 down, bases empty, no score. Bottom of the first inning, the offering. Bounces in again, 3-1. We'll set up the full Mustang lineup once we get to the top of the second inning. Fort Morgan had a base runner eliminated. Caught stealing was Trey Romero. 3-1. Swung on, and that's grounded foul along the third base side. And the one thing Fort Morgan proved is that they can hang with Severance. Again, down by only 3 going into the 6th inning, and they stranded 11 runners in the game. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Now it's kicking up even more, over 30 miles an hour. The pitch, and that fastball is below the knees. It's a walk.
Batting number 6, Bryson Ferris.
A walk to Mason Bright. Here is Bryson Ferris. Ferris is hitting .405. Another right-handed hitter. All righties in this lineup. Yeah, this field is going to play slow with this wind. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Now, what I mean by that, a ball that's going to be hit fairly hard, it's not going to really take it off. It won't take off much off the bat. No balls and 1 strike. The pitch. And that fastball's right there for a strike at the knees. It's 0-2. No balls and 2 strikes to Bryson Ferris. Throw back to first, and back in standing is Mason Bright. Yeah, to be outdoors watching this game is ridiculous. The stretch. Redding looks in. Long pause. The pitch. Swung on and popped foul. Went with a fastball down and in. Remains at 0-2. Yeah, I can't count how many people are here, but I don't think it's more than 20. Why would you? Laying down the sign is Baker, the pitch, and that's down and away. A ball and 2 strikes on Bryson Ferris. No score, bottom 1. Man at first and 2 down. Redding. The pitch. That is a breaking ball. Where did that miss? Wow. That must have been a little bit low. I think Redding thought he had strike 3. Must have been a tad low, 2-2. Well, that really fooled Ferris. He didn't take a swing, but he's still in the box. The pitch. That breaking ball. Called strike 3. That looked like it was in the same spot as the previous pitch. But that time, Redding got the call. Well, is it going to be that type of game? No runs, no hits, 1 error, and a man left. Let's head to the second inning. We are in Severance. Fort Morgan nothing, Severance nothing on B106. We are on the TuneIn app as well. All part of the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran back with you from Severance High School. No score. Jason Diaz was the batter when Romero got picked off, and he got caught stealing, and he grounds it to second on 3 hops, and a short throw to first is off the glove of the first baseman, Dylan Jost. That'll be scored in air. It was a low throw. I think he should have had it. It was on. It got there in the air. It did not take a hop whatsoever. Both teams have committed an error. That's E3. That is as easy a play as you could ever make. Again, Neely's throw was low but should have been made. Now here's Noah Aguirre. The pitch swung on and foul back. Went with a curveball, no balls and 1 strike. Noah Aguirre is batting .147. Mustangs only hitting .282 as a team. The pitch, and that fastball down and away. One ball, 1 strike, no score, top of the second inning. In what's nearly a windstorm, the pitch. The fastball is up and in, 2-1. Tyler Baker waits to hit next, followed by Chase Redding, Jaden Carrera, and Joseph Layden. The offering fouled off to the right with a curveball, 2-2. Well, we had 75 degrees with a slight wind, or a light wind on Tuesday. Here in Severance, 48 degrees and a tremendous crosswind, 2 balls and 2 strikes. The pitch, Bender is in the dirt, blocked by the catcher, Agustin Dominguez. It'll be a payoff pitch. I don't think they'll take a chance on Diaz running. Now, with nobody out in this top of the second inning, the stretch by Hertzke. The offering swung on. That ball is grounded towards right field. The second baseman, Neely, dives, cannot get it. It's a base hit into right field. And Diaz to second. That's it on that slow grounder. Again, it took a while to get through the infield. And Baker could be bunting here. Mustangs have their first hit of the game. Baker had a big double on Tuesday, batting 158. This could be, again, a sacrifice situation with Redding on deck. The stretch by Hertzke. He's squaring a bunt, and he lays it down beautifully, third base side. It'll be gloved by Tamburo. Throw to first is wide of the target. Baker's going to reach. Rounding third is Diaz. He's going to score. And to third is Noah Aguirre. Will give Baker a base hit because that was a tough play for Tamburo. It's also an error on Tamburo, allowing the run to score. And the Mustangs lead 1-0 in the second. Gorgeous bunt along the third baseline, an off-balance throw by Tamburo. Threw Jost off the bag, and I'm not sure he would have had Baker anyway. Here is Chase Redding. Redding hitting .222. I don't think he'll be bunting. You've already got a man at third. With a man at first, the pitch. Fastball rides inside. 1 ball and no strikes. Wow. I mean, I'm hanging on for dear life inside this weather pod. It's not chained down or anything. I might blow away the pitch. Swing and a miss and a fastball up in the zone. 1 ball and 1 strike. Everybody's all covered up. I've taken off some clothing. That's the benefit of the weather pod, but I've got all types of weight. My own weight, some of the equipment. It's that bad here in Severance. The pitch. Swung on in line, base hit into right field. Here comes Aguirre. To second is Baker. It's an RBI single from Chase Redding. Fort Morgan in the second leads 2-0 in Severance. Here's Jaden Carrera, the freshman. Fort Morgan came to play today. But again, they've got to get it done on the defensive end, too. 4 errors on Tuesday, already 1 today. It came from this hitter, Carrera. The pitch, squaring to bunt, and he lays it down foul along the first base side. And it's the little things. Baker executed his bunt perfectly. Just 0-1 on Carrera, so he's still got another shot. With Baker at second, Redding at first. The inning started with a very innocent ground ball to the second baseman, Neely. A low throw. Should have been caught in the air by Jost. He dropped the ball. That was scored in air. Base hit by Aguirre. Bunt single by Baker in an error. And then that single there, the offering, squaring to bunt. Lays it down the third baseline. Another beauty. Glove by Tamburo. Throw to first is high. Should be late. Yep. It came off the bag. It'll be scored a sacrifice. But that's another error. Because that throw was high. That would have had him. And the bases are loaded with nobody out. Tamburo's committed his second error of the inning. Scored a sac bunt with an error. And this weather certainly affected At least Severance so far. Trailing 2-0 is Severance. The base is loaded, and now you have Joseph Layden coming up. Layden hitting just 120 in an RBI situation. Here comes the home plate umpire. They don't want long conferences on a day like this. They want to speed this game up and get it moving. Yeah, this is not anything weather. This is Hurricane Shutters weather, or although it feels like it. Pitch to Langford, and that fastball rides inside. Or check that to Layden. 1 ball, no strikes. Langford's on deck. Hertzke's already thrown 30 pitches. And he came into this game with relative success this season. The pitch fouled off to the right. 3-0 with a 4.71 ERA, the right-hander Hertzke. 1 ball, 1 strike. The Mustangs have played small ball to perfection in this inning and taken advantage of 3 errors by Severance. Fastball is outside. 2 balls and 1 strike. This wind almost feels strong enough it could pick up an automobile. Off of third is Baker, Redding at second. Carrera at first. Pitch to Layden. Fastball is up and in. And again, with almost every pitch now that Hertzke's throwing, the hat is flying off his head. So it's certainly bothering him. 3 balls and 1 strike. Both teams had a base runner in the first inning. One eliminated, caught stealing, the other on a double play. Swung on and driven in the air down the right field side and along the line, and making the catch as tagging up and scoring is Aguirre. And the Mustangs now lead 3-0. Or check that, Lopez was at third running for Baker. Yeah, it's hard to really get a read on some of this. So a sac fly for Layden as Ty Adam made the catch. Redding to third. He is the runner over there. Carrera's at first. 1 out, 3-0 Fort Morgan. Langford popped out his first time up, and he swings and fouls it off to the right. Yeah, this is very uncharacteristic of the number 5 team in the state, the Severance Silver Knights. 3 errors in 1 inning, 2 by the third baseman Tamburo. The first one by the first baseman Dylan Jost. Short lead at first. Riding off of third, the pitch. Down and away. And you have somebody in Langford who's been crushing the ball this year, hitting .486. Again, the cab goes flying. 1 ball, 1 strike. 1 out, 2 on, 3 across in the top of the second inning. Fort Morgan leads Severance 3-0. And an RBI opportunity for Charlie Langford. Anything on the ground up the middle will score the run. The pitch. That bounces away. Redding to the plate. He's going to score. And to second is Jaden Carrera. And the Mustangs lead 4-0. Watch out. Baseball's a funny game. I know we're early. It's very early, but if Redding pitches this game, and Fort Morgan can still build on the lead. Hertzke at the belt. The pitch. Swung on. That ball's driven foul off to the right. Two balls, 2 strikes. Off of second is Carrera. And the offering. Swing and a foul and a bender that was nearly in the dirt. How did he get a bat on that baseball? I have no idea. That was closer to his shoe tops than it was to his ankles. But Charlie has a compact swing, and that's what certainly assisted him in getting a piece of the ball. Hertzke stretches. Hertzke pitches. Swung on and fouled off to the right on a breaking ball. Count remains at 2-2. Yeah, I had thought at one point that they might have rescheduled this game. I mean, we know it's dry. But you can't play a quality baseball game in this mess. We've already seen in past years. There was a game in Northridge last year that was a mess like this. The Offering swung on, line towards center field. It's going to be caught. And back to second is Carrera on a line drive hit by Langford to Gockley, 2 down. That had massive exit velocity, but hit in the wrong spot. Trey Romero walked and then was caught stealing in the first. This will be the 8th man of the inning to bat for Fort Morgan. And this is maybe one of their biggest innings of the year against a quality opponent. The pitch, swung on, lined, and caught by the shortstop, Mason Bright. Another bullet. You have 2 errors on bunts, one a single and one a straight up air where the runners reach, and then 2 line drives, one hit by Langford and the other by Romero, and they find the gloves of Severance defenders. For the Mustangs in the second, 4 runs on 3 hits, 3 errors and a man left. An inning and a half is complete. Just trying to get the words out, it's not easy. It's Fort Morgan 4, Severance nothing on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. John Beltran back with you from Severance. 4-0 Fort Morgan, and the Mustangs don't make the playoffs this year, and it's a long shot right now because they're at the bottom of the Longs Peak League. This is like a playoff game during the regular season. This is where they can prove something against the top 5 team in Severance. An 11-2 victory on Tuesday by the Silver Knights. Wind and pitch to Dylan Jost. It hit him. Oh, here we go. Don't give him anything back. Got him on the left side. That'll bring up Joe Tamburo. Tamburo was 1 for 4 on Tuesday. He steps in against Chase Redding. Yeah, Chase has got to counter those errors with some solid pitching in the second. The pitch. Fastball is a strike at the knees. Bottom of the zone, it's 0-1. Bank of Colorado believes in keeping things simple. They're at bankofcolorado.com. 2-step lead at first. Throw back to first, and back in diving is Jost. Mustangs had double plays in each of the first 2 innings against Severance on Tuesday, not necessarily conventional ones. Long pause and a pitch. Breaking ball is tapped foul along the third base side. No balls and 2 strikes. And then, with 1 on and nobody out, a ground ball to Charlie Langford. He flipped to Layden for 1. And the throw to first was off the glove of Romero, but a double play was called because of obstruction by Adam at second. 0-2 pitch. Swung on and grounded slowly to the left side. And Carrera, bare hands, throws to first. That's going to be offline and off the glove of Trey Romero towards the fence. That will allow Jost to go to third. That's going to be another error on Carrera. Man, he has really struggled over there. It was not an easy play, but a makeable one. That'll send up Brennan Taylor. You don't want to give these runs back this easy. A hit batter and then an error. Now, Carrera did a nice job ranging to his left. He never gloved it. He barehanded it. But even with a bare hand, was able to set and throw and just made an errant throw. It is first and third. The hitter did not advance, but the base runner did. The pitch, swing and a miss, and a breaking ball down and away. Taylor's batting .368 in the 7-hole. Fort Morgan leads 4-0 in Severance in the bottom of the second. Laying down the sign is Baker. The pitch, the bender is blocked by Baker. Runner takes off for second. Throw is going to be on one hop and backhanded by Layden. It was supposed to be a short throw anyway, not to necessarily get the runner. It's a wild pitch. One ball, one strike, nobody out. Two in scoring position. Give up a run or two, you're still in good shape going into the third. The pitch. And that one nicked him. Oh, man. I think it got him right around the left elbow.
Now batting number 10, Austin Neely.
Well, Severance has not had to do anything. A hit batter, an error, and a hit batter. And Neely's up there with the bases loaded. From the 8-hole. Wind by Redding. The pitch. Fastball is down the middle for a strike. Neely's only hitting .167. 4-0 Fort Morgan, bottom two, but Severance is threatening. And the offering. Curveball is down and in, barely missed. That's the tough pitch to throw today. One ball, one strike. Out of the windup with the bases juiced. And the offering. That one is in the dirt. Almost looked like he threw him a changeup. It's 2-1.
Yeah, I don't miss it anymore.
Redding has thrown 26 pitches so far, 14 of those for strikes. The offering. Swung on and driven into the right center field gap for a base hit. Jost is going to score. Tamburo's around third. He's being sent to the plate. The throw's going to be cut off by Romero. It's a 2-run single for Austin Neely. It's 4-2.
Now batting number 8, Shane Gockley.
Brennan Taylor did advance to third on the base hit. Here's the 9-hitter, Shane Gockley. Gockley hitting .310. We're on B106.com. The stretch. And the offering. Fastball is just outside. One ball, no strikes. Right here on Morgan County's B106 and B106.com. We're on the TuneIn app as well. B106 on the TuneIn app. One ball and no strikes, 4-2. Severance trails the pitch, and that is a little bit below the knees. A hit batter, an error, a hit batter, and a 2-run single by Austin Neely. Runners at the corners, nobody out, bottom two. Fort Morgan does have the lead, but it's being jeopardized right now. The offering. Curveball up and in. The throw to second with a runner going, and in there, a steal for Austin Neely, and it's 3-0. And you're going to turn it over to the top of the order. Gockley's got a 3-0 count against him. The offering. Fastball's a strike. 3-1. Both pitchers had no issue in the first inning. Little issue. But in the second, it's been tough. The pitch. Swung on and foul. Went with a breaking ball in the inner half. Three balls and two strikes to Shane Gockley. Runners in scoring position. Fort Morgan leads 4-2 in the bottom of the second inning. Redding delivers. Swung on and grounded to third. Carrera's got it. Now he's going to run the base runner towards the plate. He'll throw to Baker, and Baker will apply the tag. And now the throw back to second, and the slide in the tag, and the ball is off the glove of Layden. Tried to apply the tag too early. Nonetheless, the fielder's choice goes 5-2. Nice job of Carrera getting the base runner Taylor. One out. And here's Ty Adam. The stretch by Redding. Looking back at second, the pitch, squaring to bunt, and he lays it down the third base side. They're not going to throw him out. Baker turns, throws to first, and it's offline, but it's a base hit anyway.
Now batting number 4, Nolan Hertzke.
It's a base hit for Ty Adam. And the bases are loaded for Nolan Hertzke, who grounded to short. It turned into a double play. Excuse me, man. I think wind's blowing in my face. The pitch swung on and tapped slowly up the first base side. Redding's going to underhand to the plate for the force. Nice job of Redding just underhanding. He had no play at first, and Baker had his right foot on the plate, 2 down. Well, we've had a 5-2, and now that's a 1-2. That's outstanding communication between pitcher and catcher, because Baker could have gone after that and did not. That'll bring up Mason Bright. He walked his first time up. Breaking ball is taken low. One ball and no strikes. The pitch swung on. That ball is drilled into deep left center field. Way back is Keller, and that ball is over his head. That's going to score 1. That's going to score 2. That's going to clear the bases. Bright to third. The throw. It's going to be late. It's a bases clearing triple for Mason Bright. That was more straight away than I initially thought, and Severance is in the lead, 5-4.
Batting number 6, Bryson Ferris.
Here's Bryson Ferris, who struck out looking his first time up. The pitch, fastball is up and in. We've had 5 errors in this game combined, 3 by Severance, 2 by Fort Morgan. The offering upstairs. Yeah, Keller did everything in his power to try to get to that baseball. That was just launched. Mason Bright had a 3-run double on Tuesday and now a 3-run triple on Thursday. And the 2-0. Curveball is swung on and fouled off to the right. The dimensions are not listed in Severance whatsoever. The numerical dimensions. 2 balls and 1 strike. Mustangs lost 14-4 here a year ago. That was with a playoff team. And the pitch swung on and grounded left side. Langford has got it. Sets, throws to first, and that is in time, just in time. On a strong throw to nail Bryson Ferris. Wow.
At the end of second, ball up, 5-4.
For the Mustangs in the bottom of the second inning, or for Severance in the bottom of the second, 5 runs on 3 hits. There was a Mustang error and a man left at third base. Let's head to the third on this very blustery Thursday afternoon. It's Severance 5, Fort Morgan 4 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Swing and a miss on a first pitch of the third inning to David Keller. Struck out swinging his first time up. 5-4 Severance, 4 runs for the Mustangs in the second. Severance countered with 5, and that breaking ball's outside. Keller, Diaz, and Aguirre against right-hander Nolan Hertzke, who threw 42 pitches in the first 2 innings. Laying down the sign is Dominguez, the offering, and a check swing. It's a strike. He swung at it anyway. It was well above the letters. Would have been ball 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. I'm not sure David has seen the ball out of his hand, considering this wind is also a factor. Swing and a miss. Got him on a bender. Might have been foul tipped into the glove. Keller's 0 for 2 with a couple of strikeouts. 1 down in the 3rd inning. Jason Diaz hit a grounder to second to start the rally in the 2nd inning when the ball was dropped by the first baseman, Dylan Jost. So the Mustang DH will step in. Open stance, right side, the pitch. That fastball is a little bit low. 1 ball and no strikes. Diaz awaiting the offering. That fastball's inside. Strike zone looks a little tight. You don't want that today either. You want this to be more of a pitcher strike zone on both sides to get this game moving along. 2-0. That's outside. All fastballs, all balls, 3-0. Noah Aguirre is on deck. The pitch. That's a strike. A delayed call on the inside corner, 3-1. Nolan Hertzke to the plate. Swung on, grounded up the middle, base hit into center field. And the Mustangs have come up with their 4th hit of the game. Diaz has been on base twice. Aguirre singled and scored in the 4-run second for the Mustangs. Huge gap on the right side for Aguirre, and that one is blocked in the dirt. Nice job by Dominguez. 1 ball and no strikes. Hertzke gets the sign. Now his cap is staying on his head, so the wind is not as powerful, but that fastball's up and in. 2-0. Hertzke can go the limit of 110 pitches. He's at 53 already through 2 1/3. And the offering. And that one, did it clip him? Oh, they're going to say it did hit Aguirre. Another hit batter in this game. Redding has hit 2. That's the first one hit by Hertzke. First and second for Baker, who laid down a perfect bunt. Then the ball was thrown away in the process, so it was a single and an error. The run scored on the air, no RBI, to give the Mustangs at that time a 1-0 lead. Could be another bunt situation, but this time there's 1 down. The pitch, fastball strike on the inside corner, belt high. No balls and 1 strike on Tyler Baker. The stretch by Hertzke. The pitch, fastball is up and in. Count levels at 1-1, 5-4. Severance in the 3rd. The pitch, down and away. Yeah, this wind has a tremendous personality. I'm going to tell you right now, I believe I would call it bipolar. I've never done that with a wind gust, but it stops, gets stronger, it stops. Doesn't stop completely, but it slows down quite a bit. Like right now, nothing. But that'll change in about 2 seconds. 2 balls and 1 strike. Diaz off of second. Aguirre at first. The pitch. Swung on line. Base hit into right center field by Baker. Stepping on third is Diaz. They're going to send him towards the plate. There could be a play. The throw is up the first base side, and he slides in head first. It's an RBI single by Baker, and the game is tied at 5 in the top of the 3rd inning. And the Mustangs have 5 hits in the game, and Baker is 2 for 2. Aguirre got to second. Chase Redding had a base hit, and he scored 1 inning ago. Hertzke gets the sign. The pitch, Fastball, a strike, inside corner, thigh high. It's 0-1. This game began innocently enough with no runs in the first inning. Fastball rides in underneath the knees. 1 ball and 1 strike. This could be a slugfest. It is so far. Redding awaits. And the pitch. Swung on and fouled off to the right on a fastball away. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Rockies and Phillies just started now from Philadelphia. First of a 4-game set with the Rockies looking to snap an 8-game losing streak. Mustangs themselves have dropped 3 in a row. 2 to Mountain View and then Tuesday against Severance. 1-2 pitch. Swing and a miss on a ball in the dirt. First base is occupied. And the runners are going to take off. And for some reason, Dominguez just held on to the ball. He could have had a play, at least at third. So by Redding taking off, he should be ruled out. And he is. He was about to go back to first base after he stepped on it. But he's an automatic out on the strikeout because first base, again, was occupied. 2 down. Here is Jaden Carrera, the pitch. Fastball outside. Carrera had a sac bunt and reached on the error by the third baseman Tamburo. And he swings and hits it slowly on the ground left side, and it's fielded by the pitcher. And the throw is going to go over the first baseman's glove. At throwing air there by Hertzke. 2 runs will score as stepping on home plate is the courtesy runner Lopez, the second of the 2 Mustangs. And Fort Morgan is back in the lead 7-5. Carrera to second. And Severance has committed 4 errors in the game. Those runs are unearned, even though the error is on the pitcher. We'll have a visit to the hill. Let's see if we have a pitching change. What a crazy game. Seven to 5. Fort Morgan in the 3rd inning. The notion is that when you have weather like this, you want a quick game. We're not going to have a quick game. We're at 50 minutes, 5-0 in a game that started about 4 minutes early. So here we go with Joseph Layden. Layden with a sac fly gave Fort Morgan a 4-0 lead. The pitch, the bender's a strike. They got to cut the music. I don't know why. Who's doing that over there? Now with the game going on. The stretch. It's not a concert. It's a baseball game. Swing and a foul tip into the glove. I'm all for music, but knock it off when the game's going on. It's 0-2. 6 errors combined in the game. The pitch, that one bounces away, and now the third taking off to throw on a hop and safe. It's going to be Carrera on the wild pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Layden. Officially 0 for 0. That's what a sac fly does. It does not eliminate the plate appearance, but it does the at-bat. The offering, swing and a miss on a changeup. And Joseph Layden strikes out. However, the Mustangs in the top of the 3rd inning pick up 3 runs on 2 hits. There was a huge Severance error on the pitcher with 2 down and 1 left. We head to the bottom of the 3rd. Fort Morgan has reclaimed the lead. It's 7-5 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. We move to the bottom of the 3rd in Severance. Fort Morgan 7, Severance 5. And for the Silver Knights, 5, 6, and 7. Dylan Jost, Joe Tamburo, and Brennan Taylor. against right-hander Chase Redding. Jost was hit by a pitch and scored. Wind and offering. Swung on and grounded foul along the third base side. 7 runs on 5 hits for the Mustangs. They've committed 2 errors and left 2 on base. 5 runs, 3 hits, 4 errors for Severance. They've left 2 on base. The pitch. The breaking ball is in the dirt. 1 ball and 1 strike. Laying down the sign is Baker. And the offering. That bounces in. Got to get this first guy. Redding's line does include 2 hit batters in the second. And the 2-1. Well, that one bounces in again. Three balls and 1 strike. Dylan Jost awaits. The pitch. And that's a strike on a breaking ball in the inner half as Redding's cap goes flying towards the first baseman, Romero. 3 balls and 2 strikes. That's the first time it's happened to him. Again, it's got a personality of its own, this wind gust. It's almost that same wind gust. If you saw the movie Facing the Giants, a great football and faith-based movie. They wait till the wind is at the kicker's back, and he kicks a 51-yard field goal to win the state title. 3-2 pitch. Swung on and lifted towards shallow right field for a base hit on a check swing. Looked like a check swing or a 3/4 swing. Good pitch thrown by Redding, but Jost delivers. Joe Tamburo reached on the air by Carrera, the first of his 2 errors in this game. Fort Morgan with 4 runs in the second and 3 in the third. Severance with 5 in the second. It's 7-5 Mustangs. The offering and the breaking ball swung on and lifted towards right field and caught by Chase Romero. Throw back into the infield, 1 down. That did not have much trajectory. It wasn't a liner. It was more like a soft fly ball. And Romero had him played perfectly. Brennan Taylor was hit by a pitch. And then he was thrown out at the plate on a fielder's choice. The offering. Curveball. I guess it's low. I have no idea where that missed. Strike zone is really, really inconsistent. 1 ball and no strikes. And the offering. Curveball must have been outside. 2-0. Redding thought he should have had maybe 2 strikes there. I don't blame him. At least one of them. 2 balls and no strikes. We'll be here all day with that type of a strike zone. Taylor digging in the pitch. That's got to be there for a strike. I mean, that's very close to where the first pitch was at. 2-1. To Brennan Taylor, 7-5 Fort Morgan. Bottom 3, 1 on, 1 out. At the belt. And to the plate. That bounces in, nowhere close. 3-1. Redding, again, with a strike-to-ball ratio that needs to improve. 28 strikes, 24 balls. Should be at least 2-1 or close to 2-1 at the very least. 3-1. The pitch, and that is on the inside corner with a breaking ball. Gorgeous pitch by Redding. He would love to do that earlier in the count. 3-2. The number 8 hitter, Austin Neely, waits to hit next. Jost off of first. Lob back to first. Jost back in diving. Three balls and 2 strikes. Go back to first again. Back in diving again. Now the ball gets loose in the infield on the throw back. But it's backed up by Jaden Carrera. It'll be a 3-2. Here it is. Fastball is up and in. It's a walk. Second one issued by Redding.
Now batting number 10, Austin Neely. He's up in here. You're fighting.
Austin Neely will now hit.
You're fighting. You're fighting.
Neely with a base hit his first time up. We have played 1 hour of baseball. We're still in the bottom of the third, but Fort Morgan does have the lead at 7-5. The stretch. Looking back is Redding twice. The pitch. Fastball is just outside. Throw back to second and a hop. The tag. And did they get him? I think they got him. Tyler Baker with a tremendous throw. Late and applies the tag as Jost fell asleep over at second base. That is one of the greatest plays of the season. Baker essentially from his knees. And I think that Jost thought that he was throwing it back to the pitcher, and he threw it on a perfect hop to Layden, who applied the tag, 2 down. What a throw, the pitch. Swung on, that's driven in the air to center field. Coming in is Keller, and he's got to play it on a hop for a base hit. Runner to third, the throw's going to be cut off by Langford. First and third, 2 down. On the base hit from Austin Neely. Here's Shane Gockley. Gockley hit that ball to third that caught Taylor between third and home when Baker applied the tag. Tyler Baker's having a heck of a game. A bunt single, a double, and he threw out not a base stealer, a base runner. The stretch and the pitch. And that is blocked by Baker. 1 ball and no strikes. You got to get this guy. He's the number 9 hitter. You don't want that number 1 hitter coming up and give the lead right back. The stretch. The offering. In the dirt. Throw to second is up the shortstop side as the runner was going. Neely gets a steal. It's 2-0. A base hit into the outfield ties the game. 2 balls and no strikes. Fort Morgan 7, Severance 5, bottom of the third inning. The pitch. Curveball is fouled along the third base side. 2 balls and 1 strike. Thick jackets and blankets all over the place. I think I'm the only one in a weather pod. And even then, this pod is blowing all over, man. This wind is relentless. At the belt, the pitch. In the dirt, 3-1. Coming up on the top of the hour, this is Morgan County's B106 KPRB, Brush Fort Morgan. I'm John Beltran on a 47-degree afternoon in Severance, but the wind chill's got to push this thing into the 30s. Stretch. And the 3-1. And that fastball is up and in. Yeah, Redding was hoping for a strike, and I thought it was right there. And I can't believe we got a home plate umpire keeping the strike zone this tight with weather like this. I mean, really tight. Ty Adam aboard twice on an error, and then he had a bunt single. With the bases loaded and 2 down in the bottom of the third inning. The pitch swung on and grounded foul. Along the third base side, it's 0-1. Base runners all over the place. 6 errors in the game. We've had walks and hit batters and base hits. Everything a baseball game could have and more. And the pitch. And the breaking ball nearly hit him. Got to watch out when you throw that pitch. Now Adams probably thinking, I wish that had hit me. It would have forced in a run. 1-1. Baker lays down the sign, and the offering. Swung on and grounded, foul along the third base side again. 1-2. Redding has to be very careful. If he throws a curveball that does not break, it's going to hit the batter. Got to be very, very careful to this hitter. And the 1-2 pitch. Breaking ball is just a little bit up and away. That's a great pitch. Adam nearly swung at that. It's 2-2. What a good pitch. That barely missed. Here comes the 2-2. Swung on. That ball is lifted into shallow left center field. That's going to drop for a base hit. That'll score 2 runs. Another throw cut off. Wow, a 2-strike, 2-run single for Ty Adam, and the game is tied at 7. He didn't hit it hard, but in the right spot. And his second is Shane Gockley. Man, this team has delivered with 2 outs today. Mason Bright had that 3-run triple. He also had a 3-run double with 2 outs on Tuesday. Nolan Hertzke's 0 for 2. The stretch and the pitch. Fastball is a strike at the knees, but that pitch has been called a ball in this game before. No balls and 1 strike. That base hit was just lofted into center. Swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Oh, 2 to Nolan Hertzke. First and second, 2 down, 2 across. Tied at 7 in the bottom of the 3rd inning. Looking back in the pitch. That's a little bit below the knees on the off speed. It's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Redding was 1 pitch away from keeping this at 7-5. Now trying to keep it at 7-7. The offering. And that is a called strike 3 with a breaking ball on the inside corner. Hertzke can't believe it, but again, the strike zone is all over the place. And that pitch has been called a ball in this game. But a strike there. 2 runs on 3 hits. No errors and 2 left. 3 complete. We're going to be here a while, folks. Fort Morgan 7, Severance 7 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. This is KPRB Brush Fort Morgan. John Beltran with you from Severance High School. Fort Morgan 7, Severance 7 in the top of the 4th inning. Charlie Langford, Trey Romero, and David Keller. Langford has popped to center and lined to center. He's 0 for 2. In fact, Fort Morgan has 7 runs, and Langford and Keller, 2 of the better hitters, Langford the best hitter, are combined 0 for 4. The pitch swung on and grounded foul along the third base side. The new pitcher is Austin Neely. Nolan Hertzke goes to third. And Tamburo's probably at second. Down and away. Keep in mind, Tamburo committed 2 errors at third. I think that's him at second. 1 ball and 1 strike to Langford. The pitch, fastball is swung on, popped foul. And out of play off to the right. Yep, that's Tamburo at second. 1 ball and 2 strikes. It's basically a 4-inning game now. Back to 0-0. And the offering. Curveball is a called strike 3. That's a beauty on the inside corner at the knees. And that's a strike with any umpire, 1 down. So the starter, Nolan Hertzke, is no longer the pitcher of record. Trey Romero walked and lined out. He's 0 for 1. The lone lefty in either lineup. The pitch, down and away. 1 ball and no strikes from the right-hander, Austin Neely. The pitch swung on and grounded weakly right side. It's going to be played by Jost. The underhand to first with the pitcher covering. And the out is recorded. 2 down, and now actually Mason Bright is out there, so they switched everybody in the infield. I mean everybody. I've never seen this early with a number 5 ranked team. Ty Adams is now at third. And the pitch to David Keller way behind him. 1 ball and no strikes. Keller has struck out swinging and struck out looking. Nope, struck out swinging twice, 0 for 2. And the offering. Swung on. That ball is lifted down into left field for a base hit. Had a lot of topspin on that ball. And Keller's 1 for 3. For the Mustangs, their 6th hit of the game, matching Severance's total. Jason Diaz aboard on a miscue, and he singled. 1 for 2. Keller with a 2-step lead. The pitch. Fastball is low and away. 1 ball and no strikes. Neither team scored in the first inning. The Mustangs with 4 in the second, 3 in the third. Severance 5 runs in the bottom of the second, 2 in the third. 1-0. Swung on, grounded left side, and to his left. Nice glove play over there as the throw is made by Hertzke, and he retires Jason Diaz for the out. That retires the Mustangs in the 4th inning. No runs, 1 hit, no errors, and a man left. 3.5 complete. In Severance. Fort Morgan 7, Severance 7 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Now batting for your Knights, number 15, Mason Bright.
Let's go to the bottom of the 4th inning. Mason Bright has been a nightmare for the Mustangs. Had 4 RBIs in his first 2 at-bats on Tuesday. A walk and a 3-run triple in this game against Chase Redding. The pitch, and that curveball bounces in. Redding is 71 pitches deep. Couple of strikeouts, 3 walks, couple of hit batters. He's allowed 6 hits. And the pitch. Swung on, lined into the left center field gap. That ball's going to roll for a while. Keller will cut it off, but right before it gets to the fence, and Mason Bright continues to be a terror for the Mustangs. A leadoff double in the bottom of the 4th inning. Bryson Ferris has struck out and grounded out. Ferris, not spelled like Ferris Bueller, with an A instead of an E, though. That's the difference. The only thing we saw with Ferris Bueller, he was at a Cubs game. He could have played in it the type of day he had. The pitch, and that changeup is down and in. 1 ball and no strikes. Severance had a brief 5-4 lead after 2. We're tied at 7 in the bottom of the 4th inning. Huge lead at second for Bright. Looking back is Redding the pitch, and that one is in the dirt, 2-0. A base is open, but you don't want too many base runners in a tie ball game midway through. At the belt and to the plate. Curveball is a strike on the inner half. Excellent pitch by Redding on a 2-0. Now it's 2-1. Baker puts down the sign. Redding acknowledges. He pitches. Curveball is just outside. Three balls and 1 strike. Looking back to the plate. Swung on, grounded right side, and that is going to find a hole. A dive by Layden into shallow right field. He's still down. Rounding third and scoring is Bright. And it's 8-7. That ball was not hit hard, but Layden was shaded towards the second base bag. And he had to go a long way, and he dove. Had he come up with a baseball, the run would not have scored, but it would have been a base hit. Here's Dylan Jost, hit by a pitch and singled. He's 1 for 1. That was a good pitch by Redding. The offering. Swing and a miss and a bender. No balls and 1 strike. Redding to the plate, scoring to bunt. Lays it down foul, first base side. Oh and 2. Covering all electric work from residential to commercial to agricultural. Better Electric, better does matter. 970-521-1030. Throw back to first, back in diving is Ferris. Still nobody out in the bottom of the 4th inning. Severance has reclaimed the advantage at 8-7. Baker setting up on the outside corner. That fastball's inside. 1 and 2. Heck of a play just to stab that baseball. The stretch. And the offering. Swung on and grounded, foul along the third base side. A lot of changes made by Severance in this game. Awuniak into the game as well. He did play. He started, in fact, on Tuesday. Chase Redding delivers way outside with a breaking ball. Throw back to first, and back in standing as the base runner. 2 balls and 2 strikes. Long pause here by Chase Redding. The pitch. Fastball is high. That was above the letters. He thought he might have had a strike. But that definitely was a little bit high. 3 and 2. Joe Tamburo's going to hit next. The pitch. Fastball is up and in. That should be a walk. Do they not have it as 4 balls? Well, maybe I had to. There you go. Yeah. I mean, the hitter apparently didn't know. The umpire didn't say anything. And then now it's first and second for Tamburo. An error and a pop out. 0 for 2. Mustangs committed 4 errors on Tuesday, losing 11-2. Now Severance has 4 errors to Fort Morgan's 2, but they lead 8-7 in the bottom of the 4th inning. The pitch and the curveball swung on and fouled off to the right. And Chase Redding is slowly running out of pitches. He's walked 4 in the game. That was unofficially pitch number 85 through 3+. Redding looking back, the pitch squaring to bunt, and it's in the dirt, skips up the third base side. Baker picks it up, no play. A wild pitch advances the runners. One ball, 1 strike. 2 more in scoring position. Out of the windup is Redding. And now he kicks and fires. Curveball is swung on, chopped to short. Nice leap by Langford playing in. Throw to first for the out and the runner's hold. Had he been playing his natural position, that would have taken an extra hop. But he was playing in. He jumped for that ball, came right down in his glove. And there's 1 down as Tamburo is retired. Brennan Taylor hit by a pitch and walked. No official at bats. The pitch, curveball, gets underneath Baker, but only a few feet behind him. 1 ball and no strikes. Again, a thin crowd because of the incredible gusts. These wind gusts are massive. Here's the wind and the pitch. Swag and a miss and a pitch down at the knees. It's 1-1. One ball, one strike, 1 out, 2 on. 1 across for Severance. 8-7. Severance, bottom of the 4th, the offering. Curveball, swing and a miss. A nasty breaking ball by Chase Redding. On pitch number 90, it's 1-2. He might unleash another one. Redding gets the sign. The pitch. Curveball down and away. Baker's been a wall back there. 2-2. The infield again is playing in. They don't want to allow another run. Can Redding get the strikeout on the 2-2? Swung on, line down the left field line. That is fair inside the left field line. 1 run is in. Here comes a second runner around third as crossing home plate on the 2-run double by Brennan Taylor is Ryan Awoniuk. It's 10-7. And here's Austin Neely. And Neely has singled twice. Tried to jam him on the inside corner, but Taylor got that bat head out in front. Redding pauses. Redding pitches. Fastball is below the knees. Severance has come up with some clutch hits in this game. He was overmatching Taylor, and Taylor was able to drive it down the left field line. This was a 4-0 game. Throw back to second, and on the second base side is Layden. There was no shot there. 1 ball and no strikes. The big hit, a bases clearing triple from Mason Bright, but that was a 2-run double by Taylor. Pitch to Neely. Fastball is low. Two balls and no strikes. Severance atop the Longs Peak League, only 1 loss. The pitch, breaking ball, a strike down the middle at the knees. Ball 2, strike 1 to Austin Neely is 2 for 2. Severance now has 9 hits, the Mustangs with 6. Redding to the plate, fouled with a fastball up at the letters. 2 balls, 2 strikes. 96 pitches deep is Redding. But again, way too many of those outside the zone. 46 balls and 50 strikes. And just in the bottom of the 4th inning. The offering. Curveball called strike 3. A beautiful pitch right down the middle. Froze Neely 2 down.
Shane Gockley.
Redding has picked up his 3rd strikeout. Shane Gockley, a fielder's choice and a walk. He's 0 for 1. With Taylor off of second, the pitch. Fastball is outside. This undoubtedly will be Redding's last inning. Why would Coach Langford have him in for a few pitches in the 5th? He's already closing in on 100. Step off. Not sure. Chase just got to get this hitter out. Forget about the runner. It's already 10-7. You get this hitter out, that base runner doesn't matter. 1 ball and no strikes. The pitch. Fastball. Must have been a little bit low, even though... Wow. Yeah, I mean, Redding is wondering. The Fort Morgan bench is wondering where that pitch missed. 2 balls and no strikes to Shane Gockley. The pitch. The bender's a strike. Man, does it have to be that perfect to be a strike? Super inconsistent. 2-1. Redding delivers. Curveball is inside. Ball 3, strike 1. Ty Adam, another weapon for Severance, is on deck. Step off by Redding. I think he's a little bit too preoccupied with a base runner and thought he should have had a strike a couple of pitches ago. I don't blame him. And that one is up and away. 5th walk issued by Redding. He thought he had a strike there, but that one was definitely up and away. And now the home plate umpire taking a couple of steps towards Redding and then backing off as Baker will talk to Redding. And Josh Langford will pay a visit. I wonder if Coach Langford's going to say something to the home plate umpire. He might take extra time. This is going to be very interesting. Let's see if this is just a normal visit or if he's going to take some additional time. 1st and 2nd, 2 down, bottom of the 4th inning. Severance leads Fort Morgan 10-7. Well, apparently we're going to have a pitching change. David Keller is being summoned in from center field. And it looks like he'll be the new pitcher. Redding still has the ball in his right hand. With Severance holding a 3-run lead. And the pitching change will be made with David Keller on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. This is not an easy spot for Keller to come into. 1st and 2nd, 2 down, bottom of the 4th inning. Severance leads 10-7. Now, since I botched it last Thursday at Mountain View, I can tell you now that Chase Romero's in center, moves from right to center. Chase Redding is in right field because Keller he's got a portion of his face covered up. He's got to face Ty Adam, the pitch, and the breaking ball's a beauty on the inside corner. No balls and 1 strike. Adam is 2 for 3 in the game, been on base all 3 times, reached via an error in the 1st inning. Step off by Keller again. Let's go after this hitter. Holding base runners hasn't really mattered in the game too much. The pause and the pitch. Swung on and lifted into shallow right center field. And drifting over to his right and a dive by Redding. Nobody took control of that ball. It's going to drop. A couple of runs are going to score. And all the way to 3rd is Adam on what was a routine fly. But it looked like Redding and Romero just looked at it. Then Redding dove at the last second. It's 12-7. It'll be scored a 2-run triple, but that play should be made. I don't know what happened there. Romero had a longer run. That clearly, from my vantage point, appeared to be Chase Redding's ball. That was not played well in right center. That was a great pitch thrown by David Keller. Well, that could be the story of Fort Morgan's season, just not making plays when they need to, the pitch. And the bender's down and away to Nolan Hertzke. Those runs are charged to the starter Redding. The pitch, down and away, it's 2-0. Yeah, that was confusing. Looked like it was routine to Redding's right. Kind of looked at Romero. Unless Romero called it, which would be absurd. He was too far away from the ball. The pitch, curveball is inside. Again, even Keller's wondering where did that miss. 3 balls and no strikes. 5 across for Severance in the 4th. And that fastball's upstairs. It's a walk to Hertzke.
Now batting Mason Bright.
Mason Bright has walked, tripled, and doubled. Might as well put him on to load the bases. Well, now the home plate umpire is coming out and almost spreading his arms. But I'm telling you, his performance is, that's a D performance out there at best. You cannot differentiate a strike from a ball on certain pitches. So here we go. Mason Bright has destroyed Mustang pitching, and he's hit in the lower back. You know what? That's better than anything else. He's been crushing the ball. Even if Keller did not intend to hit him in the back, I think that's probably a blessing in disguise for Fort Morgan. Bryson Ferris has struck out, grounded out, and singled. The pitch swung on. That ball is laced into deep left center field. Way back, it's over the head of Chase Romero. Runner around third, and that's going to be a bases-clearing triple as the slide, and he's in there for Bryson Ferris.
Now batting Ryan Evanick.
15-7 Severance. That's the second bases clearing triple of the game. As Adam Hertzke and Bridal scored. The pitch swung on. That ball is driven down into left field for a base hit. From Ryan Owuniak. 9 runs across the inning. Ferris scores at 16-7. But again, this goes back to not making a play in right center field. This could have been a 10-7 game. And now it's just blown open. And the pitch is swung on by Tamburo, grounded to short. Langford sets, throws, and that is in time. In time to retire Tamburo, who is now 0 for 4. However, in the inning, 9 runs on 6 hits. There was a mental error, but not a physical error, and 1 left. 4 complete. Severance 16, Fort Morgan 7 on B106. We're on the TuneIn app and on the Eastern Plains Sports Network. Let's head to the 5th inning. 0-1. Ball was thrown behind Akita. It hit the bat, swinging and missing a ball in the dirt. No balls and 2 strikes. And that pitch is low. Aguirre singled. And hit by a pitch, swung on and grounded slowly left side. Cut off by the third baseman, and a perfect throw to first is delivered by Nolan Hertzke, 1 down. One down for Tyler Baker. He's had a big game. He had a bunt single. And then a straight-up single into center. 2 for 2 in the game. Also threw out a base runner. Pitch from Neely. The curveball is a little bit low. Neely thought it was a strike. 1 ball and no strikes. 16-7 Severance. Swung on, and that ball is lined towards center field to his left. And making the grab is Gockley, 2 down. Baker gave it a ride, but just a few feet to the left of the center fielder. And here is Chase Redding. 1 for 2, singled and struck out. He is the pitcher of record for Fort Morgan. Could have a 1-2-3 inning, which has been an impossibility in this game. The curveball's in the dirt. And if the Mustangs held off the board and Severance scores a run in the bottom of the 5th inning, the game would be over. 1 ball and no strikes. The pitch. Swing and a miss. Looked like a changeup. It's 1 ball and 1 strike. 16 runs on 12 hits for the Silver Knights. They've committed 4 errors. 7 runs, 6 hits for the Mustangs. 2 errors committed. Grounded off The batter Redding, foul. No balls and 2 strikes. We will have a quick post-game show to get out of this wind, which is died down a little bit. The offering, fastball is low. One and 2 to the Mustang right fielder. The pitch, swing and a miss, and a pitch below the knees. It's a 1-2-3 inning. For Austin Neely. Let's head to the bottom of the 5th. Severance 16, Fort Morgan 7 on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.
Now batting for your Severance, Brennan Taylor.
The Mustangs need to keep Severance off the board. If not, this game will end in 5. Severance leads 16-7. David Keller takes the mound for the bottom of the 5th inning. He came in 1 inning ago. Line and pitch. Curveball is down and in. Taylor was hit by a pitch, walked and doubled. 1 for 1. Severance looking for the sweep after winning 11-2, and that is just a little bit low. I'm telling you, this is a tight strike zone. Tight, inconsistent, I don't get it. 2 balls and no strikes. There could have been a lot more pitches called strikes in this game. The offering, that's right there for a strike at the knees. Down the middle, it's 2-1. 7, 8, and 9 in the order for Severance. David Keller to the plate, way outside. Might have gone with a bender, 3-1. Austin Neely's had a big day. He will hit next. Yeah, this Severance team, they can swing it. And the 3-1 pitch. Swing and a foul tip. At the plate, it's 3-2. And, yeah, I think the umpire was looking for the baseball, but it deflected right back to the pitcher. Three balls and 2 strikes on Brennan Taylor to begin the bottom of the 5th inning. Severance 16, Fort Morgan 7. Kick of the pitch. And the curveball is in the dirt. It's a walk.
Now batting Austin Neely.
And here's Austin Neely. Neely has singled twice and struck out. Stretch by Keller. The pitch swung on and fouled along the third base line. No balls and 1 strike. We thought we were going to be here a while, and yet we could be done in a few minutes if Severance can plate another run. They're up by 9 with 1 on and nobody out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Mustangs back in action Saturday at home against Northridge, and that pitch is down and away. Brian Nickel will have the call right here on B106 at 11 a.m. I'll be back with you for Mustang baseball next week. 1 ball, 1 strike to Austin Neely. Huge lead at first. Runner goes, swung on, and fouled off. That would have been an easy steal. Taylor had a huge jump. In fact, he was taking off before Keller released the pitch, so the Mustangs catch a little break. A ball and 2 strikes to Austin Neely. Chase Romero shading this hitter to left center. Throw back to first, back in diving is Taylor. Feels like the temperature's about 30 degrees. I have no idea. Was it in the mid-40s? Throw back to first again. Back in diving is Brennan Taylor. Yeah, how it was 48 degrees at first pitch. That wind chill's got to be into the 30s. 46 now. The stretch, the offering. Swung on. That ball is lifted into shallow left field. Langford, the shortstop, is out, and he's going to make the grab. And back to first is Taylor. Neely retired. 1 out in the bottom of the 5th inning. Shane Gockley has grounded into a 5-2 fielder's choice and walked twice. Baker setting up towards the outside corner. Throw back to first. Taylor back in diving. Yeah, Keller's aware that he took off early and would have had a stolen base had Neely not fouled off a pitch. So he's keeping him a lot closer. Stretch by the senior. The pitch. Swung on. That ball is driven into left field, and coming in is Aguirre. Makes the running catch. Back to first is Taylor. 2 down.
Game tie, Adam.
Ty Adam has been on base all 4 times. An error, a bunt single, a conventional single, and a bases clearing triple. Throw back to first. Back in diving is Taylor. Keller wants to prevent Taylor from getting into scoring position. David Keller delivers. In the dirt, skips away to the screen, and at a second in diving is the base runner, Taylor. The ball gets loose in the infield, and now it's still loose into shallow center field. Oh, did they call it a dead ball? Oh, man. I don't know why they called that a dead ball. Mustangs catch another break. That was confusing. That should not have been a dead ball. But it was. But Taylor takes second. 1 ball and no strikes on Ty Adam. Well, this should be a brief conversation. Again, maybe that was inadvertent, but it's a 16-7 game. Let's just continue playing baseball. Yeah, that appeared to be a mistake. That should have been a live ball. 1 ball and no strikes on Ty Adam. David Keller has thrown some quality pitches in this 5th inning. The stretch and the offering. Swing and a miss and a breaking ball below the knees. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yeah, Adam wants some launch on it. Keller wants to keep it down. Taylor off of second. Stretch by Keller. And the offering. Fouled behind the plate. Again, went with the same pitch. 1 ball and 2 strikes. If the Mustangs can hold Severance off the board, then we'll head to the 7th. They have scored in every inning but the 1st. Mustangs had 4 runs in the 2nd and 3 in the 3rd. They had a 4-0 lead. 5-4 Severance, 7-5 Fort Morgan. 7-7, and then 9 runs in the bottom of the 4th inning for the Silver Knights. 1 ball and 2 strikes to Ty Adam. Stretch by Keller. And a step off. Well, he really does not want that runner to advance. He already did 90 feet with a wild pitch. The stretch. And the pitch. Swung on line towards left field, coming on and playing it on a hop is Aguirre. Rounding third is Taylor. He'll score. I don't know why he didn't go after that baseball. Just go all out. It might have been a base hit anyway, but because he played it on a hop, there was no chance. Adam on base 5 times ends the game. And Severance wins 17-7. The Mustang post-game show is brought to you by Advanced Agri Solutions. As Severance wins in 5 innings, 17-7. Get a full plan of seed, food, and water for your field. Call Dusty or Roxy, 970-571-2024. Mustangs lose their 4th in a row. They fall to 4-9. Let's see, let's update that record. Severance gets the victory. 17-7. Mustangs stuck at 1 win in league play. 1-7, 4-9 overall. Severance with their 10th win of the year. 17 runs, 13 hits, 4 errors, 6 left on base for Severance. 7 runs, 6 hits, 2 errors, 3 left on base for Fort Morgan. The winning pitcher was Austin Neely in relief. The loss went to Chase Redding. Time of the game, 1 hour and 49 minutes. Mustangs actually had a 4-0 lead. Tyler Baker laid down a perfect bunt, and the run scored on an error in the 2nd inning. Chase Redding with an RBI single made it 2-0. And then Joseph Layden, a sac fly, 3-0. Wild pitch made it 4-0. But back came Severance with 5 runs in the bottom of the 2nd inning to take a 5-4 lead. They got a bases clearing triple from Mason Bright. Tyler Baker tied it with an RBI single in the top of the 3rd. And then Jaden Carrera reached on a 2-run error to make it 7-5. It was tied again by Severance on Ty Adams' 2-run single in the bottom of the 3rd inning, but then blown open 9 runs in the bottom of the 4th, including Ty Adams' bases clearing triple. A big game for Ty Adams with 5 RBIs. Bryson Ferris had 4. And again, the Mustangs offensively had RBIs in the game from Baker, Redding, and Joseph Layden. And Baker had 2 of Fort Morgan's 6 hits. Mustangs back in action coming up on Saturday morning against Northridge, 11 o'clock on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network. I'm John Beltran. The final score once again in 5 innings from Severance. Severance 17, Fort Morgan 7. We'll talk to you once again. Brian Nickel will be with you on Saturday morning on B106 and the Eastern Plains Sports Network.